Hey, welcome back, Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got another review for you. This is Aftershock. This is Heathens #1. It is written by, let's see, Cullen, Bunn, and Heath Amodio. Artist is Sam Kivelä, and we got colors by Jason Wordie and letters by Simon Bowland or Bowland. Sorry if I mispronounced those words. I know I mispronounced the artist name. But I mean, a lot. This issue is really good. In a nutshell, to me, it reminds me of an anime, Fate Stay Night, and basically, it's set in the real world. But it starts out the book with a pirate, and we see this pirate like killing two people, and all of a sudden like a mark pops up on her arm, and she has other marks that are on her arm. She is dressed up like a pirate. She's using a sword and an old school musket. As she ends up killing these two people and she's about to leave, she does start to hear somebody behind her, and it ends up being the Zodiac Killer, like the Zodiac Killer. And she ends up like having a brief conversation with him, and eventually she does kill the Zodiac Killer. After she kills him, that's when the mark comes. It's not from, I think it's from killing him, not the two first people. But what it turns out to be, because right here the book kind of tells you what's going on, and come to find out, this is like it's about really bad people that died throughout history, and for instance, the Zodiac Killer. And at this point in the book, he has died and evidently made it to hell and somehow made it back into the real world. The pirate, that's why these symbols appear on her arm, because she is she has retrieved one of the devil's souls or something like that and sent it back to hell. But basically, the story is set up by Stalin, and Stalin working for, they never mention who, but the devil or Lucifer or something like that. But Stalin, like one of the commanders from Hitler, one of the bad guys in history, right? He is leading this group, kind of like a task force, but a little bit different. He has summoned like some of the big baddies throughout history, and he has, made them this group called the Heathens. And the Heathens go, jump into our world, and they track down other bad, souls that have somehow escaped hell, and they kill them and send them back. They have strict rules, like they're not supposed to harm innocents and, stuff like that. But as far as like how they kill in person, stuff like that, there's none of those rules. The cast of characters, the main pirate that I started out the story, she is Madame Singh, the pirate queen. Then we have Sophie Beluvastein, which is a master thief and a con woman. We have Billy the Kid, the famous gunslinger. We have Lucky Lucidio and Bumpy Johnson, two gangsters. One liberated Harlem, and the other one that protected ports of New York during World War II. And that is the cast of the Heathens. Basically, they do that whole part with the Pirate Queen in the beginning, and you find out she's kind of like the main leader of Stalin being the leader. But, she is kind of like the leader of the group, once they're on the field kind of stuff. But she is the more like skilled killer, fighter, strategist, and she kind of presents that way the second she meets all of them, because it's the sit down where they're explained what they're going to do. And basically what Stalin wants them to do is track down these killers, but not only that, but they kind of mention that other teams have been set out to track down these killers and they have failed, but he sent them after them singly, and so now he's created this team to go after him. So the first bad soul that they're supposed to go after is Jack the Ripper, and they do show a couple different scenes of Jack the Killer, killing new victims in the real world kind of thing. they do get teleported into the world after Stalin tells them all this and who they're going after. Once they teleport in the real world in their old school costumes, kind of per se, because they are still dressed like a pirate, an old school gangster, you know, Billy the Kid still in his. But anyways, they do quickly find out about the murder and you know, quickly head to the murder. Once they get there, they do spot, you know, what they deem to be Jack the Ripper, and you know, it's a tall guy wearing a top hat. He's said to have killer, pale-looking eyes. They end up following Jack the Ripper, and he ends up going into a warehouse. They end up going after Jack the Ripper, following him, and as soon as they go in there, they start making statements about how Jack the Ripper only killed women and stuff like that, prostitutes specifically. And Billy the Kid makes a statement about like how, you know, it's going to be such an easy task to take down Jack the Ripper because there's 5 of them and 1 of him. And when they go into the warehouse, they quickly find out that one of the rumors about Jack the Ripper, that there was never a single person that was Jack the Ripper. It was more like a group of people doing those killings. And when they walk into the warehouse, it is a group of individuals that are all dressed like Jack the Ripper, wearing the top hat and the coat, and they're all brandishing knives of different sorts. But they basically walk into the trap with all the Jack the Rippers, you know, ready to spring into action, and that's where this issue cuts off. Overall, the issue is great. I love the story. Like I said, it does remind me of State Fate Night, but it's not exactly the same. It does pull characters throughout history, but they have like a completely different setup and everything, so I love that. I do like the premise and the setup. I can say the one maybe downside that this book might have is the art, and I'm not saying the art is bad, but I want to say the art is like maybe at a 75% standard. I really believe if the art would have been like super amazing, like you know, like you know, this comic would have been like, you know, biggest hunt for #1 kind of thing, you know. That's not to say, I mean, this book is definitely one of the best reads I read this week, and it is a high recommend. The story setup and everything, it reminds me of a bunch of different things, but similar to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or but it has a feel, you know, of that kind of thing, where they take a group of individuals that wouldn't naturally work together, and they're throwing them in this situation where, hey, if you do this, you can achieve your freedom kind of thing. Suicide Squad, you know. There's a bunch of different, you know, but anyways, overall, like the after you get past that, and what they gave us in the story was really good. So it is a high recommend. But hey, that's my review. I'm still reading and trying to get done with the week stuff, and I will be with you soon. Bye, guys. Hope you have a great day.